Hello everyone, Jackie Dane here. Welcome to a whole new season. Yes, this is 2025. This is what, season number, is it 8 for PhD, Alex? Season number 7 for PhD, and hopefully bigger, better, and probably slightly better than Fast and Furious 7. Hopefully it's a little bit less, see you again, and a little bit more, see you on the podium again. That'll be nice. Anyway. Let's get down to business because we got a lot to handle, Alex. As you remember, last year we got our asses handed to us, and on numerous amounts of podcasts that we've done, I've mentioned just how frustrating the third place trophy currently lying half face down on a wheel boxes are. And it's demoralizing, and frankly, we need to do better. And so this year, we're gonna put a lot of effort into the M2 in front of us, and make it as good as we possibly can. The first major change that you guys can obviously see is that the M2 gained a lot of carbon fiber parts. The hood, the splitter, canards, which look eerily similar to the old one, but we won't talk about that. The fenders, and of course, a rear wing. Everything here is different. It is different from the old Verus kit that we ran. I love you guys at Verus, but this is slightly different. What this is the Revel Sport kit. We haven't talked about it online because personally, I'd love to be able to launch this whole thing when we hit the racetrack and just show you how good it is. Except we can't, because if you want to look outside, this is what we have to contend with here in Winterland, Chicago. Yeah, it doesn't really work too well for a splitter that's like 5 inches off the ground, but no worries on that. We're gonna go on the racetrack pretty soon. Anyway, so let's talk about quickly what this is. It's a full CFD, full 3D profile front splitter, full autoclave, dry carbon, full, it's badass.
Instead of all the fancy words.
Chassis mounted, Alex can jump on this thing all day. Yeah, Alex, not me anymore. It's crazy cool. And we can't wait to show you more. Actually, while we have you, here is just a splitter for the M2. That's what it looks like. It's pretty wild. We're not only going to be the authorized dealer for Revel Sport, we're also effectively part of the US arm. I am your director of motorsport at Revel Sport, so if you have sponsorship requests, holla at your boy. I'm probably going to shoot you all down, but we'll talk about Revel Sport later on because I feel like that's a long-term thing.
Yeah, the Revel Sport deserves its own video.
Yeah, we'll have its own video, but this is a quick intro. That's what we're doing. That's what it is. We got some more carbon fiber panels that we can show off in the back. What did we buy?
It's these from.
Whoa!
Guess what's in the box?
Whoa! Let me see. A pair of Air Jordans.
This is what I call premium European air. It's empty. Or is that from actually?
Smells like sub 7 at the Nürburgring. Oh, yeah. We spent a lot of money for that. Holy crap. Don't drop it. Whoa.
They're really light.
Really?
Yeah.
How much would you estimate? Say 5. It's probably not 5.
Actually, about.
5 pounds?
I mean, we got the scale right there.
All right.
Let me unwrap
All right.
Let's unwrap it first.
Why don't we put it on a safe surface?
All right. Well, here we go.
Getting serious, Alex.
Team Shermer G87 carbon door.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
Wow.
Carbon Kevlar on the inside.
Wow.
With reinforcement.
With a reinforcement ridge too.
Yeah.
Because I was very adamant with Alex. I was actually very adamant that I don't want a door or a carbon door, just a door skin without, any reinforcements.
A little bit of protection.
A little, like, your boy's older. Now that I'm older and wiser, I've decided that protection is good. You should always wear protection. That's my protection.
They even got the reel for the window in carbon.
Oh, window guide.
Yeah, the window guide in carbon.
Wow.
Does that mean we can keep our power window most likely?
We probably can, but
Depends on the weight of the
But we're not gonna.
system.
We're not gonna.
Get that door.
I am zeroed.
You're 0 on the scale. Okay, it's actually a little bit more. It's 12 and a half pounds.
12.5 pounds each.
Each.
But we don't plan on adding much more other door handles and mirror.
Yeah. Door panel is incoming TBD,
Door
but
panel. Yeah, we'll have
door panels
we'll
are
have an
incoming.
actual door panel coming,
Yeah.
so it looks slightly prettier.
yeah.
But that is.
Well, we don't know how much this year. I expect like.
Find out. We'll find out how much the actual door is when we take it off. Soon. So we have overseas aero parts from Asia. We have overseas carbon fiber doors from Germany. And now we have overseas, what is this? Lexan.
UK.
Yeah, this is a Lexan window kit from the Great Britain.
This is Mr. International here.
Yeah, we are very international here, as you can tell in PhD.
But
There it is. Whoa. Whoa, look at that. So what this is
all the way
Lexan
from
windows.
the United Kingdom,
Yeah, Lexan windows from plastic for performance.
which evidently makes a lot of like factory GT4s and Lexan window. It's incredibly well made.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't want to scratch it out because we'll install it.
Yeah,
Like,
we're gonna-
I don't want to destroy it before it even installed. But
Fair.
so we got the 2 rear quarter window and the
driver and passenger
driver
side
and
window.
passenger side window. This weighs like nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like
that's like
3
a
pounds.
quarter of the
Yeah.
weight of the glass. I assume because
Yeah.
I don't know how much the glass weighs. But like if I don't tell you, they just look like glass. But
All right.
anyway,
That'll be
part-
some more weight savings.
Part N+1, which is this box.
Yes. Next one.
We kind of teased it on social media already.
Yeah. So technically, what happened was we went to Ohlins, did a whole video on this, and my SD card froze. So all we got from the entire trip, entire day of filming, was the outro. It's particularly funny. But anyway, in the background,
Anyway,
here you go, the fantastic unboxing of the Ohlins TTX Pro Kit. Technically, most likely we'll sell both the Pro Kit off the shelf and also our PhD spec. Because they're nice enough to let us basically package whatever camera plate and whatever spring package we want with it.
so light for damper. Oh my god.
Because it's a full aluminum body, right?
Yeah,
And no remote.
extremely light for just like damper compared to any other thing I've ever felt. I don't know if this is the front or rear, but
What is this, Alex? Tell us.
Ohlins TTX 40 through shaft front damper for G80M
Through shaft.
234 front,
Through shaft
2 ways
with a tiny remote reservoir.
with a tiny remote reservoir.
It's quite cute, actually. It's really, really cute. It's bling bling.
Yeah.
It's full bling bling.
Yes, it's like very, very light. Yeah, so here we have, the Ohlins TTX 46 front damper and the TTX 36 rear damper. One of the more distinctive feature is, if you see the knobs, they're not in your normal position, nor it's not at the top or at the bottom. Your valving for the damper are not actually on the piston. They're literally like in this little, whatever you call it, like the little thing here, like the housing on the side. The standard TTX kit for the BMW is going to be for the G80 is going to be a 2-way. However, if you ever fancy a 3-way or 4-way, you can simply just undo those knobs, and Ohlins actually can upgrade all these to 3-way or 4-way, depends on your choice, by simply change out the little valve which actually sits on the opposite side of those knobs. If you really want a 3-way or 4-way, it's a relatively simple upgrade, so you don't have to buy completely new damper.
Or new shafts or
new shafts and everything, because the valving is all separate from the actual moving, part of the damper.
Wow.
What you see here is the regular Ohlins TTX Pro system that they actually sell in the market. So the Pro system, in terms of like difference, is compared to the base system, it comes with the our favorite Milway camera plate with the correct adapter for the TTX damper. Also, a standard Ohlins front and rear spring. We're going to try to run the Ohlins standard spring set for a few events and a few testing and figure out how we like it. And obviously it depends on the car setup, driver preference, downforce, tire, everything. We might go in and change the spring rate or maybe even the valving a little bit. We don't know that yet, but we're going to test it out and try. So eventually, if we can find more meaningful setup in terms of like a more specialized setup, there might be a PhD spec TTX coming soon. For the front TTX 46, you'll get a through shaft, which means the center shaft, which you can see in here, actually goes all the way through the damper, and You can't see it, but actually comes out of the bottom. The damper, in terms of like the fluid chamber, physically stops around here. And technically, there's no fluid inside of this area. It's just effectively a slightly empty chamber. So what happens is the center shaft starts from here, but ends about here. But when the car compresses, the suspension compresses, the center shaft goes pushed in, but there actually comes out at the other side. This is why they call it the through shaft, because the shaft is all the way through. You see it? You kind of see where I'm going with this right now?
No.
Anyway, whenever the car is under compression or the damper is under compression, you have a certain amount of shaft that goes into your fluid chamber. So that kind of takes away the room that the damper fluid can take. And effective then to go somewhere. So that's why a lot of time you see the more traditional damper, you have external reservoir. So when the damper shaft goes in, the fluid the room that the damper shaft took within the fluid chamber gets pushed out to the reservoir. So that's kind of the more traditional. But for a through shaft, because the shaft goes in, but it actually sticks out on the other side, the overall fluid volume inside the fluid chamber actually does not change regardless of where your shaft is in that stroke. Yeah, regardless of how you compress it on, the effective stiffness does not increase because you're not fighting against the gas pressure, right?
Correct.
And also, what's the other great thing about this is because the gas chamber is actually in here.
Oh.
If you can see, the gas chamber is actually this little tiny cute thing little there.
Ohlins.
Because the gas chamber is in here, so it's actually the gas pressure in here is physically connected into the damper on both compression and rebound side. Both the inner tube and the outer tube. That's why, that's one of the other reasons, because that way your fluid force on both sides is actually equal.
Yep.
So that way, that's their method of better controlling your damper to do what damper is supposed to do, which is like controlling the spring. Move back onto the rear. This is a little bit more your average, basic Ohlins TTX, if you can even call these things basic. You still get the same twin tube with the separate valve. And most people say, hey, this looks very, very basic. Why it's still expensive? Also, why it does not have an external reservoir.
Yeah, Alex, isn't external reservoir supposed to be the big thing that everybody wants on a race car?
Haha, that's where it's wrong. It still has an external reservoir, just does not have a remote reservoir. Because if you look at this closely, technically, you see the orange bit at the bottom?
Oh, it's gold, but yes.
This is your gas chamber and this is your reservoir.
Whoa!
Wow.
How does that work?
Magic?
Yes.
So instead of like on the front through shaft, the lower portion is like taken up by the through shaft. So they had to basically turn the fluid chamber 90 degrees and then 90 degrees down to the actual tiny little reservoir. Because on the rear, because remember it's not McPherson, so a through shaft is technically not necessary anymore in terms of, because it's not a structural part. Like if you take out the damper, the suspension kinematic is still the same because it's determined by the 5-link system of BMW. So this is not structural, so you can get away with a lighter, smaller shaft. So instead of having a reservoir somewhere or the remote reservoir goes out that you had to mount, they just tightly packaged in here because TTX, you don't need a lot of fluid volume. And also, apparently, according to Ohlins, they have their own very unique proprietary damper fluid for these, just to handle the heat load and everything. So to them, it doesn't seem like any heat is an issue for the TTX damper, and then we will test them out really soon too. Now the JRZs are out of the car.
Yeah, JRZs
service well for a year and a half.
Definitely did. I think we had a decent amount of success with it, and yeah, and I don't think we ever complained about the JRZs.
No,
it was just more. Half of it is how do we make it better, and how do we improve upon it.
Just experiment things.
I think, yeah, that
a lot of time about the modding cars, what I realize is you don't know what you need until you experience it.
Yeah, like you don't know, like we didn't know what the Supra needed until we tried a GT3. And then I was like, I need that.
Yeah.
I need a GT3.
Hey, that's why we call it PhD Racing Lab. We experiment.
Yeah, we're not saying we're experts, because we're not.
Yeah,
we just keep trying. And sometimes every now and then you land on a gold mine like the Supra, and that's what we're trying with the M2, trying to keep fiddling things until they're where we want it.
The tube body is a little bit bigger.
It's way thicker, actually.
The rod is actually a little bit bigger too.
Yeah, a
and
lot thicker.
The one feature I really, really missed that we didn't have on the GRZ is the full length adjuster.
Yeah, because
on the GRZ you can see your ride height is effective your spring seat, right? But
preload.
Yeah, preload or spring seat height, right? On the Ohlins, you have the ability to separate your spring seat height and your whole length, which is a feature that's like more common in Japanese brands, but relatively less common in European brand. And I'm happy that I get that back. So it gives you a little bit more freedom in terms of like setting up the car.
Yeah,
height,
I
stroke,
like
and everything. So that's the big thing that I miss, and now we have it back. So,
all right, Alex.
Oh yes.
Show us the progress.
So yeah, one corner's on. We need to improvise slightly in terms of the measurement and everything to get the PHE spec with the 305 to fit. But right now, there's no spacer, decent chunk, like more than safe clearance everywhere on the inside.
It's pretty much 5mm everywhere.
Yeah, it's like about 5mm everywhere, and we're checked like there's nothing like where it's happening. The only one more thing we need to really verify is the sway bar angle. Just make sure during the full sweep it doesn't bind anything, but shouldn't be a problem because you can, these are quite adjustable. There's a lot of ways you can adjust and, change it a little to your need, but we're still gonna have to do a sweep. But in terms of ride height and tire clearance, I consider this a success for now, until we find something else on when we do the other side. But yeah, this is a solid progress.
I am underneath the car. Hang on. And Alex is doing a steering sweep. So we can check out all the end links and make sure everything's Gucci.
Max!
Is that Max?
Yeah.
All right, that doesn't look like a lot. All right, keep going.
Max!
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
One more thing we're gonna tackle while we're underneath the back of the M2 here is, if you notice, we do actually still have one more bolt here. That is an eccentric bolt for the factory camber adjustment. That one still does slip, and every now and then when that slips, it will still, upset your suspension alignment, which is why we're going to work on taking this out. Now, there's a couple kits available. There's the one from SPL available where you can just lock it out completely, or we went for on this occasion, we went the Fall Line Motorsports rear camber shim kit. Not only is it technically a lockout, but effectively they give you different positions of lockouts that are shims. They dropped in different locations. So this one is like 3mm, and the other one on my hand is 4mm, and you can flip them inside or outside. So effectively you have, plus or minus 3 and plus or minus 4. They give you everything in 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So that makes it pretty nice. And we're gonna be able to use that to effectively set our camber setting with a lower and just lock it. And the top, since it's an adjustable control arm, once you lock it down, it shouldn't really move either. And that should make the back of the suspension a little bit more predictable, a little less potentially suspect to change over curbing and bumps and so on. So pretty nifty upgrade. And that will be it for this episode. We've got the suspension on the car. We're very happy with it. The Ohlins looks not only really quality, but actually really easy to install and pretty nice to adjust as well. Ultimately, it's not ready to drive just yet because that's only phase 1 of the upgrade. That's just the damper coilover onto the car. Next up, the big one. We're gonna be tackling weight reduction. Gonna try to trim as much weight out of it as possible. So for that one, I'll see you all